And Verne, this year you're a 2004 inductee. How does that feel?
It feels pretty good. I certainly appreciate all the effort that some of these people here that got this all together and worked hard on this program here, and so it's a good feeling. So,
Brings back memories.
Yeah, it really does.
Now, there was just something different about the AWA, the way its product was. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed AWA. A lot of the fans, calling for old matches to be seen. But what did you try to do different than, the other two maybe didn't do?
Well, I think talent. I mean, I wrestled in high school, and I wrestled at the University of Minnesota for 4 years. I was on the Olympic team. I was national champion a few times. And that indoctrination into moving into professional wrestling was quite a bit of, there's a lot of difference in the thing. But you had to kind of go with the flow. We found out that interviews were a key factor on the success of the wrestling business. And we had some great guys that were great in the interviews. Mad Dog Vachon, and Nick Bockwinkel. I mean, on and on and on. Dick the Bruiser, the Crusher.
Dick the Bruiser did give a great interview.
Oh yeah, and but the interview was part of the success of professional wrestling. A lot of our time slots were at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, and we knew it was Sunday morning. A lot of people went to church, but a lot of people went to church early, came back to watch wrestling. So it was good, and the ratings were fantastic. Most of our areas. I know our highest in the Twin Cities, which is where I live, and that with a 26 to 28 rating all the time, which is a pretty good rating.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was fun, and I'm now retired from wrestling, so I'm kind of getting out of it.
How was it like working with Greg, your son?
Oh, it was.
Not too many people get a chance.
When he wanted to be a wrestler. In fact, he came to me one time when he played football at the University of Wyoming, and I thought that he got drafted by the Atlanta, I think, team, and then so I said, well, this is later on after he's home from college, and I said, what are you going to do? Which way are you going to go? And he said, I'd like to wrestle, and I was
proud.
I was surprised and happily surprised. So anyway, so we did. So we started training, and then there was a group I had, Jim Brunzell and
High Flyers.
The High Flyers became the High Flyers, and so I trained a lot of guys over the years also. So, but it was a delight on his own that he chose to go to the wrestling.
I mean, you've wrestled basically a who's who, but if you had to, really quick, one name pops in your head, name a wrestler that you really enjoyed working with in your career.
I'd say Billy Robinson of England.
You had a great series of matches in Japan with him.
Yeah, great wrestler. He was very thorough in his knowledge of wrestling. But I mean, he had ways of putting a hold on, but not only one way on that particular hold, but other way. I mean, just make you howl, So he was very good. There's a lot of guys that are great. Mad Dog was tough. He was on the Canadian Olympic team in 1948, and a tough wrestler.
I mean, back in the day, I mean, you would put someone away with your patented drop kick, kick them right in the mush, and that'd be the end of it. And now today, I mean, a drop kick, that's a starting maneuver almost. Yeah. And, how do you feel about, the way that wrestling has become, a lot of high spots, and they're not really telling a story anymore?
Well, no, I mean, there's nothing. It's just you do about 5 drop kicks on me, and I'll do 10 on you on return. And it's ridiculous. And it's just not. They're not coached properly, and they don't really. The young guys really are in there thinking, "Hey, we're doing good," and they do. They take awfully, big falls, flying over the top rope onto the floor and all that sort of thing. And not that somebody did it, but too much of that is not wrestling. And I mean, it's just you do this and I'm do that, and that's being a wrestler and the knowledge of wrestling, that this is so far away from wrestling. It's more like acrobatics.
like a circus.
Yes, and it's not they aren't schooled in the right direction.
Again, a lot of the other federations didn't do. You had crowned a foreign champion a few times, and instead of having them win the belt over there and hold it for a week or so, and then the American comes back with it, you had Tommy, Jumbo Shruda and Otto Wanz. You brought them. I mean, they won the championships, and they actually, defended them over here, something that really you'd never seen before. I mean, what was, your thought about that?
Well, they were a little different. They had a different style. Like Otto, he's a big guy from Austria. And he was their champion over there, and I'll be darned, he came over here and proved himself to be a winner. And he got in there, and I don't know who he got it from, but he took.
I think Nick he beat Bockwinkel, and then Bockwinkel beat him back. So
yeah, well, Nick was a tough wrestler and had a lot of good moves. And he was one of my enemies in the wrestling while I was wrestling. But
very storied feud. I mean, you guys
went back and forth a few times, and I have to, I certainly admit that he is a very. I hate to say this in public, that he is a pretty fine wrestler.
I know it's killing you. I know. I won't say anything. What are you doing?
Well, I'm playing tennis, and I'm going hunting. I do some fishing. I watch my grandkids and in their sports. My oldest grandson is down in playing pro baseball. The Denver Rockies drafted him, and he's down one of their farm camps, and he's down in North Carolina, Asheville.
Great.
So this is just his second year, so now he hopes to move into the big majors very soon. So watch for my grandson.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, Verne, I want to thank you for taking this time to talk to us, and again, congratulations on being inducted into the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame for 2004. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.